Today's guest is none other than actor, voiceover artist, Brit, and our former co-host.
Oh,
I hate this.
Former Americanite.
I hate this.
Stephanie Siadatan is in the building.
Hey, guys.
Fresh off her dinner with Al Pacino.
I did have dinner with Al Pacino.
Are you kidding me?
No joke, honestly. Guys, I want to say, I want to record that beginning bit. You know, the intro that I do?
Sure.
I want to do it again at some point. Can I do that again?
Sounds so good. Why would
No,
you
I just feel like I could do it better now.
Now that you had dinner with Al Pacino.
Exactly. I've got this experience, this Al vibe. I can come in and just like smash it. So we're going to do that.
You were doing a radio show. When I was in London, you were starring on a radio show.
Can I just say, I think it's
voice.
down to you guys. Maybe like my experience of being in the studio got me the job. Yeah, BBC Radio. It was like a sitcom. So it was a comedy show.
Is it coming back?
It is coming back. We did season 2 and hopefully it's going to come back for season 3.
Congratulations.
That's
That's a huge deal.
That's a huge
Thank
deal.
you.
You're doing better than us.
It's work. Well,
I don't know about that. Come on. I don't have those gold chains you're rocking right now.
You've been winning.
I stole them from Toronto. I actually
He did
stole
steal them.
I have been winning.
He stole them and
I'm
then gave
decorated.
them to Chaco, which made it
Gave
even
them to my
worse.
dog. So I got a dog since you left
I've
and
seen.
all that. But yeah, we've been winning. You know what I'm saying?
New
Toronto's
studio?
getting more shows. I'm winning film festivals. So it seems like
It's
we're
like
all
the team.
doing well.
The squad is doing well.
The good vibe tribe.
But I will say this. I was in London in February.
Okay.
And Stephanie and I met up a couple times. And I had
Wait. Is this the London trip?
I had the
Is this
best
the trip?
time.
Has he talked about it
Because you
much?
went
of my
twice,
life.
right?
I went twice, but this was, and
This
I
is
like
the
London
trip.
But I had the best time in
Because
London.
Tehran left as Tehran and came back as Tehran.
Tehran.
It was
Tehran.
it was actually Tehran. Like I had an accent.
Tehran.
It was I have London is definitely on my top list of favorite
What about
cities.
London made it so poppin'? I've never been.
Steph, can you please
I've read
tell him
about
what
it.
why London?
Well, he said he doesn't remember the weather, so it must have been other things. The women, perhaps.
Listen, I met so many amazing people. I met so many amazing, beautiful women. I love the diversity.
Yes.
So London's diversity is what diversity is supposed to be. It's just diverse people who can all be friends and get along and don't only stick to their own. And I'm talking about inside London. Once you get outside of London, it becomes slavery again. But inside London, it does.
No, you've got a point. I do understand what you're saying. Yeah,
London
yeah.
is the
That's
party.
the Brexit people.
Is it the party city of Europe? Because it used to be Paris.
It's-
was the place to
London's
go
better
to.
than Paris.
London?
For sure.
London is what New York City would be if everyone was respectful.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah, that's dope. I'd say that too. Yeah, it's really multicultural. You wouldn't know. It's like more on class, or you know, it's not just about race in the center of London. You're right.
And I appreciated it. I saw people get on the train. What do you guys call the train?
Tube, underground tube.
The tube.
The
Yes.
tube.
The tube.
I saw people just get, and it was just, we're just people who are getting on tube. It wasn't rushing. It wasn't
Oh
pushing.
well, you had a good
Was
experience
it
there.
too-
'Cause
No,
it can be.
Even if they were, it was still orderly. It was still.
Was it
Yeah.
clean?
It
Is
wasn't.
cleaner?
I'm pushing you because
No,
you're
no,
black.
we know how to queue. Oh no, for sure. No.
Yeah.
We know how to queue as well. We have a good queuing system. I've noticed being here, you guys just don't. Queue.
Is London cleaner than New York?
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah.
100%. And when I say, also, I was in Mayfair and
Yeah, I mean,
that
he was
area.
in the bougie places.
I was bougie.
I'm not
Like,
gonna
I don't
lie.
know about
He
the
was,
rest
like,
of
living
London.
it
I
up.
didn't go outside of Mayfair.
You were in the Manhattan.
I went to a girl's apartment.
What were you
had-
doing at a girl's apartment?
Honestly, she kidnapped me, to be very real.
Okay.
So this Saudi princess type who was like just totally Saudi in every way.
Let's be
Look,
careful
everything.
speaking about the royal family.
No.
please.
I'm being dead serious. Kidnapped me in her Maybach with her driver. Took me back to her apartment and had
Maybach?
5-bedroom apartment.
Let's talk about being kidnapped, Saran. Is it actually kidnapped? She said, "Would you like come back to mine for coffee?"
No. She definitely invited me back for coffee, but I needed a ride home to where I was staying.
Wait, did you
And
say 5-bedroom? I don't even have 5
5-bedroom.
windows in my apartment.
5-bedroom apartment right in Mayfair.
5-bedroom?
Do you know how crazy that must be? And it was theirs. It wasn't like
5-bedroom?
she had rented it.
Sure.
She owned it.
Well, she's a princess,
So is it
no?
a
Well,
Condo?
something. I'm just giving that. Clearly, her
A
family
rich
was
family.
wealthy,
Yeah.
and it was a condo, a 5-bedroom condo. It was like the bottom floor of a mansion in a building, and I was like impressed. Now, she happened to not be the most attractive person, or I would have married this. Like, honestly, I was still trying to calculate, like, how much could I
You're
just
terrible.
be her? What do you mean? I want to live this lifestyle.
Were you more attracted after you saw the apartment?
Of course he was.
I was already, she had me at Maybach, bro.
How did you
Is
get?
it Maybach or Maybach? Because I hear Rick Ross is like Maybach music.
I'm calling
How do
it
you?
Maybach.
How did you get from the club or wherever you were to her house? Did she have a driver?
She had a driver and a Maybach.
Oh, she had
That's
a
what I'm saying.
driver.
She had a driver and the Maybach.
Okay.
The Maybach pulled up and she was like, hey, why don't you come with me back to my place for some coffee? Actually, she had an Arab accent.
Please
but I
don't
heard-
ever do the accent again.
And then I got in and I left. Yo, my accent sucks, but I had the best time. And we went to this place called The Box.
We did. There's one in New York.
The
Have you been to the one
Box?
in New York?
No,
Yeah.
it's called The Box.
Yeah, so it's like a club. It's kind of hard to get in, but you know, if you know a few people.
So
We
you
got
knew,
right
so
in.
Stephanie
We got
knew
right
the
in.
people there?
Actually, your guys knew people. I did know
No,
people too.
I was with bosses, bro.
I did know people too.
We went
I
to,
did.
what was the restaurant we went to? Cosa Nova? What's
No,
it called?
y'all sent me a little video from the restaurant, and it looked so expensive that like I was
We
like,
were-
I'm gonna
It's
lose
so
money
expensive.
watching this
Novikov,
video.
Novikov.
Novikov.
Yeah.
Yo,
It
we
looked
went to
expensive.
this restaurant.
How much was a tab at the restaurant? I need to know.
Honestly,
a few thousand.
it
right?
easily had to be like $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah,
the
and this is
food-
pounds.
Did it-
pounds.
oh, so it's more than dollars.
Yeah.
What's like the exchange rate?
And we were there like every night almost.
Wow.
At-
That was good sushi. Real
What
good
does
sushi.
$3,000 sushi taste like?
Honestly,
Amazing.
It tasted exactly like Ralph's sushi.
No, it
I didn't
didn't.
notice the
No,
difference.
Like, do the
didn't.
fish swim in your
It
mouth?
was-
I don't know, but
Yeah.
and I met my wife at what was this place called?
Novikov.
Novikov.
Oh no, the box. I don't know. Where did you meet her?
No, I met her at Novikov.
Right.
I met my wife.
I
She was
heard
working
about the
there.
wife, and something interesting about
I
Tehran
love her.
is he'll only call a potential his wife if she has a sister for me to marry, and she has a sister.
She had a sister, and it was
we gotta
like, I
keep,
was
we
like,
gotta
I
keep it
love
together.
you.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, at first I was like, you have a sister? Yeah, how'd you know?" And I was like, and she was French but lived in London. It was like everything, and I was like, I had the best time. And then the box, they have these shows, and it's these people who were just fucking.
Wait,
Like-
what? Oh, yeah,
Can you say that on here?
Yeah.
Can we say that word?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait, they
yeah.
were doing what? They were
Well,
fornicating?
it's just like a little show. So it's a club, and we're all dancing, and then they stop the club, and then they start this like musical theater, trapeze acts, sexual. It's all very
It's like
sexual.
no, it's like
Were you at a
Cirque du
sex
Soleil.
party?
No,
Like a
it's like
swing-
Cirque
It's
du
like-
Soleil. You know how Cirque du Soleil they're like in bodysuits and they're practically naked and they're doing these
Like at
dances.
Port
But
Blue,
sometimes
when
they
they
do
come from the-
actually they touch each other.
Yeah,
Like-
no, but this is like a lot more raw,
Yeah.
and the crowd was very good looking, and we had a table, which apparently is a big deal at
Mm.
the box because
Mm-hmm.
no one can get a table
At the
And-
box.
and we had a table, and there were several floors. I mean, it was just an amazingly good
Wow.
time. And
It was good.
But is that everyday life in
And
London?
we were rolling with like groups. First of all, we were the bosses, and then we had groups of beautiful girls with us. And I don't know if it's everyday life, but it was my everyday
It
life.
can
while
be
I was
if you
there.
want it to be.
You see what I'm saying?
When I
Like
was
people
there.
come to LA and they visit me, right? And they're going out, they're spending money, and they're on vacation. And they think that I'm on vacation too simply because I just live here.
Yeah.
Got ya.
That's a hot weekend, but is that sustainable for like lifestyle?
No, I don't think it is sustainable every single week.
So if
No.
the man in the bathrobe, Tehran the Don, stayed for more than that week, would he?
Well, I
No,
couldn't
because
have
he'll
afforded
always-
it. If it was just me, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I literally could not have afforded anything that we did that entire weekend. In fact, I was paid to be there to begin with, so I wouldn't have been able to afford anything that
Yeah.
happened. However, even something as simple as the Ubers were expensive. They-
Same as here, though,
they
guys.
add
I've
up.
spent a lot of money these last 2
Whoa.
weeks, like a lot.
Is how do you say Uber in London?
The same. Uber.
Is it like
Uber.
Uber?
Uber.
Uber.
So, George, quickly, you're single.
He's
I'm-
always single and married. At
I
the
am
same
in-
I thought he'd be married by now.
I'm in
not
a
gonna lie.
relationship with Tehran.
And Coco.
We have a partnership. He doesn't like confess to it. It's a non-physical, non-sexual partnership.
Oh, that's
That's
pointless.
because I keep it that way.
That's-
George is
But-
that sucks.
But it's
George is
like
pushing.
every time I do this, my hand gets smacked off within 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Watch this. See, so it's more of a partnership. Like he's
A
my
companionship.
platonic soulmate.
Dog,
So
on the low,
we've-
he calls me every morning and is like, "Good morning."
But let me say something real. So Tehran and I have had a circle of friends in the 6 years we've been in LA. 99.9%, in fact, almost all of them who were in that initial circle have left LA
have gone back.
have left the entertainment industry.
Oh, wow.
Lives have fallen apart. And Tehran and I, we realized the value of our friendship and having each other's backs in a city like this. We kept each other alive. We kept each other sharp. We kept each other going. And that's why I cherish this union so much. And of course, you would have been part of this union.
Listen, I
Then
wanted
you
to come
left
back,
us.
guys, straight away. You know I did.
So what happened with
Yeah,
you not
what
being able to
happened?
come
We
back?
want to know.
I don't know if I can talk about it that much. I mean, I don't know. Basically, I just
Trump
I
became
popped
president.
back because I needed to figure some stuff out with the visa, and unfortunately, it's just taken a little bit longer than I anticipated.
It's surprising that they're not, because you were here on a talent visa,
Yeah, and that's the visa that I was renewing.
which is, by the way, extremely expensive.
It is.
You have to
It
pay
is
for a
expensive,
talent visa?
and
You pay for the process, which is extremely expensive.
Whoa.
Whether you're paying the government or you're paying for lawyers and
sure.
fees.
So you pay for the whole thing. And it was all sorted, and it should have taken 6 weeks, and I would have been back. And it just took a little bit longer. I don't know if it ended up on someone's desk, but anyway, it's been approved. And I have my interview coming up soon, so I should be back out here soon.
So you intend to come back?
I do, but I am working right now in London. So
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
tough.
Consistent.
especially
yeah,
for-
consistently. So I'm like, I'm just going to see what happens and where the work's at. But of course, I miss it here. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Well, we miss
It's
you here.
guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the
don't
fans.
miss
I
us. You miss-
I do.
Look,
Sometimes I get tweets from like the
Steph
cool
never
fans.
hangs out with us. Stephanie would be hanging out with all the other Euro people who were just
the
too
Al
No.
Pacinos of
Yeah,
Europe.
the Al Pacinos.
Sorry, guys. I did turn you down for Al Pacino.
We're
but,
gonna
you
get
know.
into that dinner a little later. You know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Can you
hear
talk about the dinner?
I can talk about the dinner.
You
So
got-
what was the dinner?
Yeah,
It was just like a dinner with Angelica Houston, which she's one of my favorite actresses
How
from
do
The
you
Witches.
no, rewind?
How did it come
do you
about?
get to that dinner?
So I know this guy who's Persian, and he's like Al's co-producer, basically. Al, as in Al Pacino,
Al
you know,
Pacino.
first name terms. Al.
That's actually, I think I know the same person.
Oh,
I'm like 99%.
I'll wait for you to
I know
say the
same-
name.
I forget his name.
we'll talk
but
later.
I think we're 99%
Okay.
it's the same person.
So yeah, so he's like, just come out, and then
Yes.
they're sending me a script, and maybe there's a collaboration in future. We don't know, but yeah, it was good. It
Wow.
was a great dinner.
Where
That's why I
was
didn't
it?
come out with you guys. The Bel Air Hotel.
Bel Air
Oh,
Hotel.
fancy. You know,
fancy.
calling Al Pacino Al is like calling God go. Like, I just feel like,
Like
you
G.
need to say, yeah, you need to say the whole name.
What's up, my nigga?
You got to say the whole name.
Okay.
You know, Al Pacino.
It was wonderful. He's lovely, so charismatic, lovely,
I'm
peaceful
sure.
man. Yeah.
That's
Well, I watched
fascinating.
Scent of a Woman. I see that.
I'm just curious. I really
So
need to
sexy.
know for the listeners, what did Al Pacino order for dinner?
Steak.
Steak. Was
Like
it
a man.
like a man?
Like a
Yeah.
man.
Was
George
it-
would have had salad.
A vegan steak.
George, you're vegan.
A vegan steak made out of beets. Have you ever had a beet steak?
Yeah, it's not a beet steak, is it? It's just beets.
Exactly. So then, what was the discussion like? What was the flow of conversation?
Just lots of stuff. We just talked about life and a bit of theatre. Yeah, just everything. The next film they're doing, which is going to be King Lear, which would be
King
awesome.
Lear, that's
Amazing.
been
Yeah.
in production for some time.
It's happening. It's happening
Highly
in the beginning of the
anticipated.
year. Yeah. Yeah, watch this space.
Whoa.
Hopefully, you'll be a part of something.
Hopefully.
We'll hope. Put it in the atmosphere. Get that wishful thinking.
It's out there.
But did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time. But I apologize for not coming out with you guys.
Apology accepted. I would let you go with Mr. Al Pacino instead of us for dinner anytime. But now that you're back, okay, we want to know the new Stephanie. We know the old Stephanie.
Yeah.
We want to know the new Stephanie. So we're going to ask you questions. This is
Okay.
called our either or.
Okay. Either or.
And Tehran's going to break down what happens in the either or.
So either or is basically we do this. We play a game where we psychoanalyze questions based on either or. You must choose A or B. There is no C.
Okay.
And we psychoanalyze you based on
yes.
the answers you provide. Now, here's the thing. We know you, so we may have a biased opinion,
Uh,
Sure.
but we will try to remain as unbiased and authentic as possible.
Absolutely. Because it's a new Stephanie.
It's a
we may
new
not
Stephanie.
know.
We don't know.
We may not know.
Al Pacino or Robert De Niro?
Al Pacino.
Okay. I feel that says a lot about you and your father issues. I think it has a consequence of the fact that you enjoy a charming, charismatic older person more than maybe one who's a little more aggressive. It also lets me think that you have an inability to form relationships with people to be intimate because you're in a place where you don't feel that you should be involved with someone and you think it chains you down. I also think it means that
Deep.
you are...
That's deep, guys.
I mean, I think it means that you just carry on these pointless relationships with these guys and go on. And at some point, you should just stop doing that because you don't want to end up alone, Stephanie. You don't want to end up alone.
Because Al Pacino.
Or I just want a job next year. I want to be in King Lear.
Oh, that, and we had a conversation in the car before we got here.
Okay.
But that does psychoanalytic.
You know what?
Yes,
analysis, my unbiased, no conversation in car one.
Mine was also unbiased.
Yeah. So we've seen De Niro demonstrate more of the family guy in some films, whereas Al Pacino was foreseen as a leader out of fear rather than respect. And I think there's a side to you that enjoys a bad boy. There's a side to you that gets a thrill out of someone who you know if you're out with and someone looks at you sideways, he might just slap a guy in the face. He might just punch the guy in the face.
Robert
He
De Niro
might
plays
just
that.
Yeah, he does, but Al Pacino I feel like goes for more of the
Al
kill.
Pacino would order someone to kill him.
So unless you're talking about Scarface and
No. Godfather.
Say hello to
He
my
wouldn't do it
little
himself.
friend.
Godfather.
But Al Pacino has shown both of them. He's shown both of them. And I think you like to say hello to my little friend, Al Pacino. The person who will step up to the plate and hopefully won't have a little friend, will have a big friend, but will nonetheless go for the guts.
I think Al Pacino is sexier as well.
Yeah.
He's got
And the
this
sexiness
sexy energy.
is derived from the hardcoreness of Al Pacino.
Stop being with fuckboys. That's okay. You're either or. You're
My either or.
Yes.
Would you rather raise your family in London or in Los Angeles?
Am I rich at this point?
No.
No,
I'm so sorry.
stipulations.
Did that sound like a condition?
We don't take
We don't-
conditions.
We don't do stips.
London.
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 I feel like I'm hurting you guys by saying that. though.
No, not at all.
Can I analyze this one first?
Sure, please.
I feel like you could care less in the world about Tehran and I and just more about yourself. And you would like leave us behind if we were on an island and there was like one cupcake
No.
left and we were all starving. Instead of splitting it into 3, you would just like wait
You
till
would
we
go
fall
away and
asleep.
be like,
No.
it's beats.
no,
I don't-
no, she'd wait till we'd fall asleep and then she would like chow down on that cupcake.
Interesting.
And then she would wave her hand until like Al Pacino came in his like yacht, picked her up, and leave us there to
That's
die.
very interesting. That's very interesting.
It's very wrong, George.
I think that what it tells me, I understand your assessment, George.
Yes.
It also tells me that your inability to be in relationships with steady men, nice guys, is something which you need to work on. And it's a continuous cycle and needs to, you
But
need
are
to
the
stop.
steady guys in London maybe more so than Los Angeles?
I mean, they're everywhere. I just don't see them.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
about
you're
all
saying
that.
it's irrelevant to
I just,
geographic?
just
He's
okay. I'll ask my next either or.
Yeah,
My
good,
next
good,
either
good,
or.
good.
Okay. Mondrian or Standard?
Mondrian.
Mondrian.
You have a sophisticated taste
Interesting.
that it actually, this is like your like 5th life cycle, and your sophisticated taste was derived in one of your life cycles in 16th century England. And you have a taste for the finer things in life. And although you like to party, at the end of the day, you'd rather be amongst prestigious people in a fancy environment.
That's interesting.
Okay.
That's interesting. I feel that the Mondrian signifies your inability to be in a relationship with a guy who's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated and be respectful and loving and caring and steady. And yeah, he might not be the best looking model guy, but he will be a good guy.
And would that guy be at the standard?
A good guy.
Potentially?
I'm just
You're
just
just
letting
saying,
you know.
regardless.
Letting you know.
Okay.
Okay, your turn.
Lion or tiger?
Lion or tiger? Ooh, strong.
Ooh,
Strong.
that's tough.
Yeah. Very hard.
I think lion.
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 Yeah.
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 Sheesh. The lion.
Stephanie is an elitist
Interesting.
She is at the top of society.
Alpha.
She wants men underneath her, serving her, catering to her greatness.
She has a mane. Look at the mane.
She has a mane.
It's beautiful. Interesting. I feel that the lion signifies an inability to be in a relationship with these nice guys that are there, that have the things that you say that you want, but you constantly just don't want to be with them. And they're sweet and they're caring and they're kind. But no, let's go with the Prada douchebag. The Prada douchebag. That's who we're sleeping with.
You know what? That one I agree with, because the lion kind of isolates itself from the other animals.
Interesting.
In the jungle.
Interesting. And if Prada douchebag doesn't come to his senses and just realize how amazing you are, I just can't understand.
Tehran, I feel like you're getting at something.
No. This is just from your answers.
You have
just
something-
from his answers.
From your answers.
Okay.
This is
From
the
unbiased.
answers.
Unbiased.
Okay.
Unbiased.
And then we're going to shift gears here. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Now, it's been some time again since we've seen you, and your crushes may have changed. So there's a special kind of crush Tehran wants to ask you about, unrelated to her not wanting a steady, stable guy.
It's a thug crush. So basically, because you're from London, I want to know if you have a thug crush. A thug crush, it could be any gangster rapper, a thug you've seen on TV, someone that you consider a thug, and someone that you could make that person into your crush.
Okay.
It could be the character.
A
It
bad
doesn't
boy.
necessarily.
Hashtag bad boy.
Your bad boy crush.
Okay, before he went crazy. Before he went crazy.
Mel
Charlie
Gibson.
Sheen.
No, Kanye. Before.
Kanye's your
Kanye.
bad boy?
Is he a thug?
No, he's
Is
not
he
a
a
thug, but
bad
like
boy?
you don't really want to fancy Kanye, do you?
She
No,
likes
you want
thug.
harder.
I
Okay.
understand. It's-
You want
but-
someone tougher.
No, that's
No.
actually because he's intellectual and you felt he just was off the beaten path, and that's your idea of a bad boy.
Okay. That is my
the
idea of bad
thug
boy.
who's scared of purple devil emojis.
That's interesting.
Okay, no, okay, I take it back. Maybe, I don't know. 50 Cent's hot.
50.
50.
Yeah,
50.
he's gorgeous.
50
That's so good.
is actually like,
He's not a thug anymore.
you know,
kind of
in the
offensive.
music industry, they have to say the girls have to want to F you and the guys have to want to be you if you're a male artist.
Right.
And 50 is an example of someone who I wanted to be in my
Yeah.
like teenage years. He had this like masculinity, coolness, thugness to him that I think was appealing to everyone.
Yeah, and he's
50
super
Cent.
rich.
He is
Yeah.
wealthy and he has a nice six pack
Vitamin
and
one.
muscles.
Yeah.
And sometimes that signifies that that's not all you need, that you need to have these connections and relationships with these guys who will value you as a person and just
Is
not
there a
just
broken record in the studio?
No, I'm just
I really think he's trying to make a point. I don't like it.
you love it. You love it.
What
All
is
right.
popping or stopping?
Our popping or stopping this week is going to be so the trends that men do, and I want your opinion.
We need your opinion.
Yes.
I'm not
it's
going to say who in this room
Popping or stopping?
wants an Apple Watch. Do you think men who have Apple Watches, is it popping or is it stopping?
So it's
Stopping.
like stopping.
I actually want one, but I wouldn't want my partner to have one.
Why?
I just find they take over a little bit. You get a text message and you look down. It's kind of rude in the middle of the conversation. Yeah, and I like a man with a nice watch. Like I look at watches. I'm a watch fan. And if they've got an Apple Watch, I'm like, meh.
That's interesting.
No,
that you,
no style.
Does the
no
Apple
flavor.
You actually think of a man
Watch
with a nice watch.
make a man more generic in a way? Because I feel like sometimes your watch can
A watch,
really,
yeah, really tells you someone about yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe. But I don't want to stop myself getting any like Apple endorsement deals here. So maybe pop in.
Nah, businesswoman.
Yeah, but you're saying you want one. You
I
just
want
don't know
one.
if you
I
want-
love them,
You
and I
like
love
a
the
guy
idea
who
of
has
them.
A Rollie. It's not a stopwatch.
Maybe they've got a few different ones,
Shit
and on
don't
this
ever
day
stop.
they've chosen to take out their Apple
Would a
Watch.
man seem less mature to you if he had an Apple Watch versus a Rolex or a Movado?
Oh, steep. Yeah,
Less mature.
yeah, I think so. Sorry, guys.
No,
And
it's
he's-
interesting.
and he's like
Which one of you is
counting-
it then?
And he's like counting his footsteps.
Let's
while
just
he's
put it like
talking.
that. I don't own an Apple phone. I'm gonna just throw that out there. I'm just gonna let you know I don't even have an Apple phone.
Oh,
So,
George.
Apple Watch is cool.
Okay.
I think it's cool.
I think it's cool.
It's great. I think it's
And
great.
I might want one. And thanks for just singling me out.
No, I
there
didn't
might be
single
a
you
guy
out.
in there besides me
there's
who
nothing
doesn't
wrong with
like
it.
I didn't say
Apple.
besides me. I just simply said one of us wants an Apple Watch. You
Right.
chose, and then I
Yeah.
expressed that I don't own an
Well,
Apple.
you know what? Let me tell you why I want the Apple Watch, okay?
Please.
Although I'm a man, there's still a boy inside of me. And I feel like I could exemplify that boy from wearing my Apple Watch and counting my footsteps because I want to be romantic. If I'm on a date with a woman, I want to count every single footstep we take together in life.
But would you wear this Apple Watch if
You
you're...
want a Fitbit for your
It ain't a
relationship?
Fitbit. The Apple Watch could do that, bro.
would you wear this Apple Watch on a big dinner, like a night out, you know?
Sure, if I could get a chic band that's
No.
silver and
See,
chrome.
that's the thing. When I was a kid, there was this watch, and people loved it. It was like a calculator watch, or like
Yeah, I
one of
remember
these
those.
go-go.
Casio.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Casios or one of
Casios.
these. The Apple Watch is just a cooler version of that. And my thing is, I understand where Stephanie's coming from, where a man should have a manly watch. Now, if I was going to work and I needed the Apple Watch in order to organize business stuff, sure. But just to be out and I'm talking on my watch and then that's me being 12 years old.
Yeah.
Do you kind of calculate a man's masculinity by the size of the face of the watch? Like if you saw a man with a super small face on his watch, would you be unattracted?
Are we talking about watches?
Yeah, watch. Like, if a man has a big watch,
Yeah.
is it saying big watch, small penis? Like, do these
that's
things
what my
coordinate?
No, I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't
no.
think so. No, because I'd say the bigger his watch, he's hiding something. So maybe he's going to have a small penis.
Well, it isn't too big.
Yours is Taran's is big. Taran's is huge. The watch.
No, mine's bigger than his. Wait, no, maybe not. Maybe.
Same size, guys. You've both got big watches.
Well, thank
Anyway.
you. Thank you.
Moving on.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so every week we obviously go through the emails and actually take questions from our listeners. We love hearing from you. Please feel free to email us each and every week at
imperfectgshow@gmail.com.
And this week's question comes from Carolyn XTC. Carolyn XTC asks,
I've been dating this guy for a couple of months, and my friends and family have been giving me ish about it because he is basically almost 20 years younger than me. I'm about to be 45, and he is going on 24.
well, doing math, that's 21, but
It made me self-conscious about it, and we have stopped hanging out with friends. Am I in the wrong? Stephanie, as our expert
Female
female
panelist.
panelist, please give
please,
Carolyn XTC your honest
opinion,
opinion.
insight.
I think I'm impartial to a younger guy. To be honest with you, I do like a younger man. I would say, what do you want out of your life? What's your next 20-year goal plan? And if it's the same as his, then get back together, figure it out. If it's not, and be honest with yourself, then maybe you're right and step away and do your separate things. It's a big age gap. It is. It can work if both of you, want the same things. You want kids. You want to get married soon. The same time period. Go for it.
Maybe they just want to fuck. Like,
Maybe they do.
Here's the thing. I don't know anything about Carolyn. I don't know her life position. But would you be giving the same exact advice to a man who was 45 dating a 25-year-old or 24-year-old?
Yes, I would. I'd say, what does she want for the next 10 years? If it's the same thing, then go for it.
Because I see a lot of guys who don't.
Right.
No one gives them advice when they're doing this.
No, exactly. No one has an opinion because it looks fine in public.
So for you, as a woman who likes to date younger men, do you feel like you've experienced more criticism than your male friends who date younger women?
Yes.
In what ways?
Who?
What have they said?
Who said anything to you?
Well, people just sort of say, oh, you're wasting your time. They're not going to be ready for kids.
They're right,
and
they're
they're probably, I was about to say, they probably are right. But it's the same for men and women, the other way around.
I don't know if it is because I frequently see older men dating younger women. And is it a thing where in society we're just used to seeing one way? So when we see the opposite, it throws us for a loop?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which should change now. I think it's starting to change.
And it also has a lot to do with women being mature and men being immature.
Sure.
And I'm not just saying that because we say boys, let boys be boys. I'm talking about scientifically, men mature later than women, their female counterparts. And
also we have a time period roughly on having a baby.
I was going to ask
shame.
about
Shelf
that.
life, sure.
Is that something?
I hate that term.
those eggs have shelf
I know,
life.
you're right.
Shelf life? Jeez.
It's
Is that
real.
I know, I
something
hate it.
that's unfair to bring up, or is it something that's factual? Like, for example, I've seen men going into their 60s still having children, where I'd imagine it would be impossible
really,
for a woman.
because,
So do you have that added pressure? Is it just more factual, or do you feel judgmental when that comes up?
I think it is factual. Unfortunately, it's just the way we're made. It's different to you guys. But I do think the whole judgment thing and the stigma does need to disappear, because people can have kids into their 40s now.
Yeah.
People are really going after, since we're talking about Kardashians a little later, people are really going after, Kourtney? Is it Kourtney Kardashian?
Kourtney Kardashian.
She's dating a 20-year-old.
Okay.
After being with, what was her husband's name for so long? Oh, not her husband, Scott.
Yeah.
Laura
partner.
Disick?
Yeah.
Good for her.
And she's
Maybe
dating a
she just
20-year-old.
wants to F-U-C-K. I can't say that word on radio.
It's interesting because I know, when Kate Beckinsale from Underworld was dating Matt Rife.
Okay.
Matt Rife is a year older, or not even a year, 10 months older than her daughter. We're not saying something awkward in the situation. And also, I'd like to point out that I'm not specifically a fan of men dating significantly younger women either. When I hear about so-and-so, 50-year-old is dating a 24-year-old, I'm also...
It sits in a weird place. Yeah.
What about Drake? He's getting a lot of heat for dating an 18-year-old.
He's not dating an 18-year-old, number one. Number two, he also got a lot of heat for the relationship that he has with Millie Bobby Brown, who is the star on Stranger Things. And she's 14 years old. Now, Drake is 31 years old. People are like, well, why is a 31-year-old man having a friendship with a 14-year-old girl? Well, if there is and people are calling it grooming. Now, I personally think that Meek Mill, Kanye, and Pusha T got together and started pushing the story out to diss Drake. But if there's a hidden agenda behind Drake's relationship with Millie Bobby Brown, I think it's disgusting. If there's a hidden agenda,
I don't think there is at all.
I don't think there is. And
I
I've
don't
actually
believe there
heard,
is.
I've got a couple of friends that are friends with her that are older as well. And she's a cool chick.
I'm sure
She
she's very
seems
cool.
cool, and you know what?
She seems mature.
Yeah.
And also, if I was in the industry business, her
Exactly.
her parents are very involved.
They're very involved.
And
Exactly.
so, if her parents are okay with this, and Drake is being just a big brother, a role model,
Sure.
then why are we looking at this? And I have to question whether race plays a part. Since Drake is black and she is white, and now we're looking, this black guy must be trying to sleep with this young white girl, because I'll guarantee you, if Drake was white and she was black, no one would care. Better yet, they'd be like, I wish Brad Pitt would just adopt her, because that's okay when we go around. So I feel like so many other things are taking part, and people are attacking me online for my opinion until I see something otherwise. And if he is, by the way, it's disgusting.
Of course.
Well, again, I don't think he is. I do agree with you. I think there is more speculation on it, because it is a black man with a white woman, and we've seen this happen in the courts. We've seen it happen in high schools where you have these sort of relationships, and the black male is disproportionately punished for that interaction. And we're not saying that's the nature of it. What my take on this whole thing is that she has more in common with Drake than I do. She has experienced the same level of success,
Some level,
as he has.
100%.
So in many
That's a great
ways,
point of view,
we're
man.
looking at them as at the age gap, but they're more of peers than 99.9% of the people speculating about this. They don't share the same level of success. As a matter of fact,
or experience, or acting ability,
and even
or
at
whatever.
her young age, she has achieved more than most of the people who are criticizing. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think this is a great way for him, again, to give her some feedback as someone who was an actor at her age. And they have a lot in common. And Drake has shown us in his character that this isn't something he'd do.
Yeah. If he's friends with the parents, then that's
The
fine,
parents
right?
are involved.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I wouldn't want someone telling me how to raise my child. If I'm okay with it, and I'm not a bad parent, I'm obviously a good parent, mom and dad, and I'm very involved, and I am defending their friendship, then maybe everyone needs to know that there's more there. And as someone who's also friends with my friends' kids and gives them advice,
Exactly,
and there's
yeah.
no hidden agenda, or with younger people who come up as a mentor. I understand that, and I dislike that that people have taken something out of context.
And circling back to what Stephanie said about, I really like what you said about the 20-year plan. There are people who are younger who still have trouble having kids. So if you understand the 20-year plan, understand the other party's intentions, there's always an option for adopting too. If you are past that mark of birth bearing, there's other ways around it. There's surrogate mothers. So there's ways to work around it.
I'm thinking right now about freezing my eggs. Genuine.
Wow. Wow. Is that something that you feel is frowned upon for people?
There's this definite stigma around it, for sure. I just feel like, I still haven't achieved what I want in my career, and I don't want that to be taken away from me one day. So I'm just thinking about it. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but it's definitely there. Yeah. I think a lot of women do.
I do definitely feel that the career pressure, and we're seeing there are more women with master's degrees than ever, more women CEOs than ever.
Yes.
And as we have this much needed, important, awesome change in society, we're going to start seeing people have later childbirths.
Yeah,
and these are things that I don't think there should be a stigma about, because if you're out there go-getting and you're out there accomplishing what you want to accomplish for your career, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that decision. And I support you in that.
Thank you.
And I know you're going to be successful.
I'll keep you posted.
100%. So our topic today, and this is interesting. And I just want to point out before we go on that Drake is not in a relationship with Millie Bobby Brown. So we were just using that as an interaction between two people. But for the topic of if a older woman is dating a younger man, even though we look on it, and I like the 20-year-old plan, they're adults. Let them live.
And
what happened to mind your fucking business? What happened to that?
And I'm not saying this because any of my friends' moms may or may have not come on to me in my
you might
teen years.
I remember this story.
I do feel there was no story. It was an allegation. I do feel that as a man who wants to mature faster and wants to develop faster and wants to stabilize faster, there's a lot to benefit from having an older partner. I do feel that.
I agree. I can understand that. I have older friends, and I was appreciative of that interaction. So I understand. And who knows? Maybe she teaches him some new tricks, and he has the stamina she needs. Yeah. So
and reducing
Carolyn XTC, do you, boo?
Yeah, do you.
No, you have to add the second boo. I like when you say boo boo.
Do you, boo boo?
Yeah, I actually stole that hashtag.
Big love, Caroline.
The topic for the week.
Dun dun dun.
In light of the recent events with Kanye, in which he has gone on camera and is getting very upset at everyone for talking about his wife, Kim Kardashian, also a big celebrity, we will talk about how we should talk about other people and their relationships. And I guess it also relates back to Carolyn as well.
Right.
Just in general, how should we talk about other people and their relationships? And as someone who's very transparent with a lot of things in your life, which I've always respected about Stephanie, do you think it's okay to talk about someone else's relationship? Do you think it's okay when other people are talking about Kim?
No, not at all. Why are we talking about other people? Get on with your own stuff. I don't really understand why everyone's so interested in other people's business.
Well, we've always been interested in other people's business, which is why gossip columns do so well. But my question is, now that Kim Kardashian is no longer simply celebrity # reality star, she's now Kanye's wife. Is Kanye in the wrong or in the right for going off on people?
Well, yeah, he shouldn't be going off on people. It's a tough one.
I don't know. What would you do, George, if someone was talking trash about your wife?
Let me just say this. Let me take it a step back to what I think is the root of the problem.
Sure.
So if you don't want people to be speaking about your wife, you have to be very cognizant about the light that you speak about your wife.
Very true.
And I have seen Kanye in interviews. And some of it was factual. Some of it was just him expressing what it was. But when you're bringing up your wife and you're saying, yeah, I talked about in my songs, I'm one day going to marry a porn star, and then using that porn star label on Kim Kardashian, which people can say that, but she's an entrepreneur. She's a successful businesswoman. She's a political activist. She's so much more. She's one of the most inspirational, active figures in society.
100%.
So when you use that term in an interview, what is the message you're sending out to the rest of the world about your partner? I think maybe along the way, if Kanye was more aware of how he was speaking about Kim and his own sexuality in terms of like, most recently when he talked about Pornhub and all that. And that may have just him being open and honest. There's something to admire about that. But when you talk about your personal life and talk about your personal relationship, understand as two of the biggest celebrities, then other people are going to have opinions and
100%.
speak about it.
No, you're right.
So if I was in Kanye's shoes myself, what I would do, I would try and keep my relationship a little more private.
Yeah.
So that way people would know the barriers that I have created instead of just speaking their minds and not knowing the barriers that exist.
Highlighting all her positives, maybe just slowly changing the way you speak about her, and it will change other people's opinions. Yeah,
absolutely.
And maybe get out of the limelight for a little bit. Just go on a beach, hibernate.
Yeah, and to answer Tehran's question, what would I do at that point? If it's now my wife, I just honestly...
Mother of your 2 children.
Mother of my children, I would feel as a person of integrity, I would defend her the same way, if not further, just because that's what I care. That's what's dearest to me. And when you attack that, my instinct as a man, as a person of integrity, is to defend. I would want to defend. And I'd be interested to hear what you would do, Tehran, in that situation.
Here's the interesting thing, right? Because you made a lot of valid points. And one of the valid points is, how do you speak about your partner? And this is why I want to ask a girl's opinion, because a lot of times girls will date someone, and when they're dating and everything's good, he's the love of their life, and she's telling all her friends how great he is. But then when they break up or get into a fight, he's a piece of shit, and he does all these things, and he's doing this, and he's been doing that, and he's done all these other things. And the concept comes down to, so what do I do now that we got back together? What happens? What happens after that?
You make a good point.
Right?
I try not to talk shit about someone just in case this happens.
Sure.
And when my friends are talking shit about their guys, I try not to really take on board what they're saying. Obviously, I'm there for them and I'll listen, but yeah, you've got to, it's obviously going to be positives and negatives in any relationship. So,
right. But this situation is interesting. I don't believe, well, they haven't had a public breakup whatsoever. They've stayed together. So what I like about their relationship, you haven't seen Kim bash Kanye, and you haven't seen Kanye necessarily bash Kim. And I wasn't saying when I was talking about the light that you speak about your wife and that he did bash her. But when you put you got to be careful with words. That's why words are so important. When you put certain labels out, when you put certain details about the relationship out, people will naturally take that as an invite to speak about what's going on.
Especially now, trolling.
Exactly.
The internet's
Like
going
trolling.
crazy.
And you just got to be careful. I will say that when this is where I struggle, right? So we know what is mannerful, or we know what seems more courteous, but then we also know history and we also know facts. And you can't necessarily erase history or facts. So if someone has publicly dated your wife before and wants to speak on that, it's hard for me, at the same time, someone who would instinctually defend, to try and tell somebody, no, you can't speak your truth about what happened.
Okay, so what if a guy who used to date your current girlfriend or wife was like, yeah, I fucked her though? Is that, it's a fact.
Okay, so the tone, can you repeat it? Did you hear the tone he
Yeah,
used?
the tone was
I fucked her though.
It wasn't though. Honestly, I have had sex with her.
Yeah.
When a guy comes up, he's like, yeah, after though. That just sounds like an attack.
And
it's
that's
not
why
what you say, it's how you say it.
We need
right?
to realize what people are saying about Kim Kardashian. This is a constant person. This is a mother. And I felt the same way about Melania Trump. I felt the same way about...
Did you?
I did. Of course. That is someone's mom and wife. She didn't run for office. If you want to attack President Trump and his policies, that's a different
But
conversation.
she did choose him.
But it doesn't matter, because everybody is in a situation where we would look at and be like, she chose him. There's a lot of choosing that goes on that we may or may not agree with. We can look at anyone and say and decide for them. Do not judge others because they sin differently than you do. I've seen a lot of girls sleep with a lot of guys that I'm like, oh, she chose him.
You know what?
They just didn't become the president.
Yeah, I agree with you. In the Melania case, I found it crazy that they were holding her past against her, because look at her presentation. Look how classy she is.
And I felt the same way about Michelle Obama. I hated when people would attack Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Look how graceful she is, and there's not much there to judge her about. She doesn't go out saying harmful things to people. And I got hurt when I saw that they were bringing up the past. This is someone It was very presentable.
Yeah, I just don't like when people start judging other people as if your shit don't stink. That's my thing with when it comes to the Kanye situation is like he's sensitive and you guys are disrespectful, so that causes a clash. You guys are being disrespectful. Everyone who is coming out with Kiki, do you love me is maybe a little disrespectful. You know what you're doing. You're poking the bear, and then you're getting upset when the bear is growling. At the same time, Kanye should be more
He needs to, he's a professional grown up. He needs to maybe rein it in a little bit, you know?
And we've seen his outbursts.
And,
this isn't the only
he-
time.
he goes crazy.
I can't
And expect it. I'm not saying they need to stop. They can do whatever they want, but don't ask him to stop. Because I know how I would feel if someone.
But you can change
was talking
people's
about my
opinions,
wife.
you know? So if they start now working together and creating a different sort of direction for their brand,
Yeah.
and like you said, she's doing really good work at the moment,
Sure.
then maybe, you know, we'll start to respect
Right.
them a bit more.
We'll respect it. We'll respect it. I mean, just it comes down to something very simple. I need your words of the week, but mine are going to be like, mind your fucking business. Everyone just needs to mind their own business.
I give Yeezy the pass for standing up.
Sure.
I don't think he was out of line, and I don't. And a lot of times, people when they do take a stance, they talk crazy. I don't think he talked that crazy. I don't think he said anything violent or threatening. He was just say, "Here's my stance. This is what it is." And actually, there's something to respect about the way he did it. This is Mr. George Corey, and these are my words of the week. The strongest person isn't the one who hits the hardest. It's the one who could take the hardest hit. Hardship is inevitable, but resilience depends on us. Our greatest strengths are revealed during our weakness moments. This is Mr. George Corey, and these are my words of the week.
And Kanye, I hope you listened to some of those words. Stephanie, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you
were
for having
amazing.
me.
Yeah, welcome
It felt
back.
like
Thank
we were
you.
back. We were back.
The team is complete.
Where can people
missed
find you if you
you.
want to be found?
I'm back in London. Next week I'm doing a soap opera. It's going to be aired on ITV
Wow.
called Emmerdale. And yeah, BBC Radio. My sitcom's on that too.
And what
That's
about IG?
huge.
IG? Instagram? Oh, that's what you meant.
Anything.
Steph Siadatan.
That's it. Find her, love her,
Find
show her
me.
love. Tell her you missed
Great
her from
to
the
be
show.
back, guys.
You guys,
Yeah.
if you don't know, you hear her voice each and every week at the beginning of our show.
Yes,
So
and it's an
thank you so
honor
much
to
for
have you
being
weekly.
You're
on
welcome.
the show.
Missed
Thank
you.
you so much. And of
Missed
course,
you
you can
too.
find me at I Am Tehran all across the board. I Am Tehran, literally, at IAMTEHRAN alongside.
Mr. George Corey, find me at Mr. George Corey. Try and spell my last name.
That's KHOURI.
Yes.
And we are
Imperfect
Perfect gentlemen.
Remember, nobody's perfect.
But
But us.
We'll see you guys next
Woo.
week. Thank you.